Hey, this is Flor Pintura with another video. I really want to talk about the start of my self-care, self-love journey and why it's so important to me. I started this self-care, self-love journey back when I was around 14, 15 years old. I really was just going through a lot emotionally, and I knew my parents couldn't emotionally support me at that time because they were also going through their own things. And my sister was in college, so she had her own life going on. So it was really just up to me trying to figure out all these emotions and all these feelings and all these friendships and all this drama that was going on for no reason. It was just like a lot and a lot of sadness because of like me expecting things that my parents told me that I was going to get and I didn't receive. So that really took a toll on me in my teenage years and how I see a lot of things like my birthday. But as an adult, I've been really trying to make my birthday a bigger thing. And every single birthday, after if I've had a sad one or not, I'm gonna continue to try and do a better job every week, every year because it's my motherfucking birthday. It's the one time of the year that I can celebrate that I was born. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I celebrate that? It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of lessons that I've had to take up to this point that I'm just like, wow, I think I just want to really share these things a lot. And I really want to emphasize how much self care is important because if it wasn't for self care, probably, I don't know, I don't know if I'd be able to sit here and actually talk about my journey with y'all because self care is what has gotten me here. It has what's kept me going all this time because I used to call it my betterment journey, but it wasn't really betterment. It was more like trying to get myself to feel better because I was just not loving the way I was feeling back then. And still, I have moments that I still don't like how I feel, but I have more tools in my toolbox that I use um, to help myself feel better and lift my mood up because I absolutely deserve it. You know, life's already tough, so we shouldn't be the ones making it harder. We should actually be the ones treating ourselves nicely and giving ourselves grace because there's so much going on. There's literally so much going on and so much out of our control that we need to sometimes just sit down, reflect, and think about what you can do to make yourself feel better in the moment. If it's something healthy, if it's going on a walk, if it's journaling, if it's taking a nice hot shower or a nice bath, if it's cuddling up and watching your favorite movie. You know, sometimes you need to just like settle down and just watch something that's a comfort movie for you. One of my comfort movies is The Cheetah Girls. I mean, like sometimes you just gotta sit down and enjoy what makes you happy because you absolutely deserve it. And this world will tell you that you don't, but I am telling you that you do. You are able to incorporate self care in your life every day. I started journaling back when I was around 14, 15. My parents were going through like separation, divorce, so there was a lot going on. And I didn't really have an outlet. I didn't have a therapist. I didn't have any of that. I wasn't really aware of any mental health issues at the time. So I was, just journaling my feelings away because it's the only way I realized I could mind dump and it not affect me and it's actually out of my head. And so I kept going with that. I just kept journaling whenever I ever felt overwhelmed, whenever I felt like my feelings were too much for me. I journaled. I got into that habit real quick and I loved it every year. When I was younger, I was really like into buying a new journal every year and really continuing my journey of bettering myself. I used to write a lot of affirmations like these on my wall when I was around 15 years old. I used to just draw them and put them on my wall, but I wasn't aware of the effect it was going to give me. I was doing them because I was just a sad, sad teenager. Like, I know I was probably around 14, 15 because that's also the year I remember I was a real sad teenager, and that's also the year where I got into alternative rock, which is why I love Paramore to this day. Like Hayley Williams, well, you're my birthday twin, dead ass. Like, that's why I know it's around that time, and that's why I took steps into my life to do something that makes me happy because I know I wasn't like part of the status quo. I wasn't part of the popular crowd. I was never interested in the obnoxiousness of them. You know what I mean? I was always just in my own bubble trying to just do my work, get through all over throughout the years. And when I became an adult, I kind of just like, oh shit, I actually have to like work through all this trauma with a professional and actually sit down and keep using that tool, but also add more tools to my toolbox because it's not going to be the only tool that's going to sustain me when I have these like situations that happen in my life, you know? So that's why I started incorporating more walks in my routine, especially in college. I graduated undergrad a long time ago, y'all, but when I was in undergrad, I used to go on walks. I used to go on drives. When I was home, I used to go on drives. Now, because I have my own apartment, I live with my boyfriend. We go on walks together. I also, if I want to go on a drive, I do still journal. That's one of my biggest things. I love a nice hot shower. I love just having a boogie break. One of my favorite things literally is literally stopping everything that I'm doing and just putting on my favorite song or like whatever song I need in the moment and just jamming out. Love shows the love if you know what I mean. I said from the spot. Back to regular programming. Yeah, so boogie breaks are one of my biggest things. I've always talked about it. I feel like I took a break off of that. I've had a rough year, but I've recently brought them back. I'm like, why did I stop doing boogie breaks? This is why I love having like social media for my blog, because I post these things and then I forget, and then I'm like looking back and I'm like, wow, I posted this in 2022, 2021. Why did I stop? So I'm really trying to bring the things that I think worked for me back. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to incorporate back into my content as a boogie break, because I still do it. Sometimes literally I'll be with my boyfriend and he's literally playing his game. I'm watching something. I'll literally stop my show and just literally put a T-Pain, probably a T-Pain song. It's probably a T-Pain song. Not always, but it's probably a T-Pain song or an Usher song. I'm just saying. What else do I do for self-care that's constant? I love listening to music. Sometimes I just change up what I'm listening to. If I'm listening to things with like vulgar words and stuff, I literally won't be listening to that. I listen to a lot of lo-fi, like white noise in the background, so my mind doesn't continuously just roll. Sometimes, like while I'm watching the dishes, while I'm cleaning, if I don't want to like jam out and vibe, I literally just put some hip-hop lo-fi and just kind of have a zen cleaning session. And it kind of really works for me. And I like doing my work with lo-fi too, because then I'm not distracted on the words. I'm actually focused on the task that I'm doing. So it's a tip that I'm just putting out there, because, you know, self-care tips, anything that works for you and whatever makes you feel good could be considered a self-care tip, okay? So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Like drawing is also one of my self-care activities. I love to draw. I've always loved to draw. I've always wanted to take like a professional art class or like a art class in college, but in undergrad they were way too expensive and there were evening classes. As an adult, I haven't really had the time or the funds to do it, but eventually, hopefully, as my YouTube journey continues, I will have the time to actually take like a paint class or a drawing class and actually get into it, because I love painting too. I literally have a pack of like 5 canvases right here with all my art and craft supplies, because I love arts and crafts. It's really my jam. So I really have ways to always express myself. And these are things I've always done. Like these are just things I've always done even as a kid. I remember like when I was like 6 or 7, like this is like a vivid memory of me just getting like the TV tray, getting a chair, getting my little watercolor set I got from Dollar Tree and my little computer paper, and literally just sitting there and just starting to paint whatever I wanted. Like I still do that to this day type thing. So it's really something I used to do, and I just brought it back into my life in a different way. So these are all things I do suggest you look into in your life and see what you used to do and what used to make you happy and how can you bring it back into your life every day, you know? I think it was summer 2023. I'm just gonna say it was summer 2023. I went on a solo road trip to go visit my friends in Maryland, because I also was thinking of moving to the DMV area. So I was just like, you know, let me go visit them. And it was a great road trip. I had a great time. I literally loved the vibe of the DMV area, and I already knew I would. I already knew I would, because currently where I live is not for me, and I already been known that. And then I kind of just had my um astrocartography chart read, and it just told me that my Mars line is where I'm living right now. So that's why it's been so hard to like progress in the things that I want to, because I'm stuck. And I've been trying to get out. So we're working on that. And this is part of this journey. All this is like towards things that I want. And so I just want to share all these things with you, because I feel like they're helpful, and I feel like if they help me, they might help somebody else. And if you guys want to talk about more things that you can incorporate in your self-care journeys or in your routines, yeah, we can absolutely talk about that. I'm here. This is what I do. Self-care is my jam. Like I am very big on treating yourself as a priority, as you are the most important person, because you can't take care of yourself unless you're taking care of you. You know, because if not you, then who? If not you, then who, baby? Nobody. You got to take care of you. So that's like my biggest thing with self care is like prioritize you. It's important to take care of yourself before you start taking care for anyone else. You know, and you could do it in small ways, you could do it in big ways, whatever works for you. But please, please give yourself some love, because you absolutely deserve it. But thanks for sticking around for this video. This is my second YouTube video. If you really enjoyed it and you want to follow me and subscribe to my content, please do. You can follow me on Threads at Floro Pintura, which is also my Instagram for my blog page. Floral Pintura. You can go to my blog at floralpintura.home.blog, which I will put here, and you can you can subscribe to the newsletter to my blog at floralpintura.home.blog. I'll put it right here, and that will allow you to read my post whenever I post it.